Electrician sila naman maliit, pwede mo kunin yan. Yung electric pa maliit, pwede mo kunin. Patin mo na lang dito. Ito naman ang appropriate sa question reviews. Hmm. My remembrance. Hmm, remember. Yeah. Then Been May 20, 2015, and now is 2020. It's been 5 years. Yeah, 2015. And now is 5 years na siya nung binigay siya ng aking mentor. I'm giving you my personal Bible and I'm praying that it will help you in your personal relationship with Jesus. I also pray that this Bible would cause you to have that never-ending hunger for His presence. And lastly, I pray that as you read this Bible, the words will penetrate your heart and would make you more and more like Christ. I'm so proud of what you have become as Christians. Sister in Christ, Army. Thank you so much. April 16, 2015. Hardship is over. This is the new season of my life. Flowers blooming. November 26. Declaration na ba? November 26. Wow. November 26 what? Is coming 26 ito? November. Oh, hardship is over. This is the new season of my life. The flowers blooming. November 26. Galing. This is a part declaration. Hmm. Galing. Ito na yung tsura ng Bible. After 5 years. After 5 years. Yan. After 5 years. Binilutan ko pa siya. Siyempre, balot pa yan. Pero nawala na yung mga speakers kasi hindi siya nag-work. Yan. Mga notes, andyan pa, after 5 years. So humble yourself before God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Take my work, take my yoke upon you, and let me teach you because I am humble and gentle of heart. And you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. Matthew. Then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and will give you rest. Presented with Jacqueline Arenales. I'm not married yet to this, and now Jacqueline Castro. By Armies Donato. Thank you, May 20, 2015. And now it's 2020. It's been 5 years since I received this. And that's a letter of my mentor who brings me Christ. He brings me to Christ again. Yan siya. Bookmark ko. Send, disciple, consolidate, and win. Then the Lord asked Moses, who makes a person's mouth, who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what? Kailan kaya ito mangyari? Kailan kaya ako mag-go? Hmm. Reverse. Do everything without complaining and arguing, so that no one can criticize you. Live clean, innocent lives as children of God, shining like a bright light in a world full of corrupt and perverse people. Philippians 2:15. I choose that. Grade ko dyan is 89 lang. Ouch! Bookmark. Ay, ano to? Wala, secret. Doon na naging itsura ng, ay, my gosh. Kasi si Sam to eh. Oh, tingnan mo, si Sam. Sorry po. But then I really care this. Ah. Yan, after 5 years, the Bible looks this na gamit na gamit siya. At sira-sira na yung cover ko. Kasi 5 years ko na siyang nagamit mula nung hinoveran ko siya. Kailangan na niyang magpapalit ng comment. Again, thank you for the one who gave Kelly. It's Miss Army Donato. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye! Subscribe to channel Samuel Ab TV. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me. Loving me and nandiyan pa yung mga stickers. Aha, di ba? Hmm? Yan ang gamit ni Bani. Ngayon gumagawa ako ng gumagawa ako ng gumagawa ako ng devotion kasi today naisipan ko mag-video. Kasi gumagawa ko ng devotion ka. That's na tsura yung devotion. Ano, gagawa pa lang first page. Not yet. Oh my! That's all. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Masyadong makalat yung aking place. Hmm? Tadan! Tadan! Ang laptop is there. Tadan! Yun ang kalat ng aking table. Because I'm working a lot of YouTube. Hmm. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Ito ako sumisigaw sa kanya kanina. Hmm, 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 Nagka-utos na kasi ako kanina sa kanya eh. So, sinay ko na buto niya. May binigay ko lang ako talaga kinang ko t-shirt ko at partawag ko. May binigay pa lang ako 300 na t-shirt ko at asawa ko. Pero t-shirt, pero kasi t-shirt. Nagpa-utos lang kasi ako kanina sa kanila eh. So, yung may kurang na abutin mo. Kaya binigay mo na lang. Kala niya pinagawan siya ng gagawin. Kailan niyo po binigay ko naman po? Kaninang bago, siguro na may binigay ko lang ako 300 kaya siguro t-shirt ko at sa asawa ko. Nagpa-utos lang ako kanina sa kanya kasi yung po na abutin niya kaya binigay mo na lang. May gulay. Bili kasi gusto mo lang po kasi ang dami. If ever hindi mo naman okay lang sa pinag Namin pinupulot ang ibig ko dito. Nakikita ko din kami. Ito hindi na nila yung charger. May battery full ka na. Well, dito, dito ba? Ako pa naman. Ha? Lord? Hindi daw. Galing. Share mo mga video mo sa amin. Sa YouTube ka ba? Nag-YouTube ka ba? Ha? Share mo mga video ka doon. Pinag-lens mo. Sige po. Ha? Ano? Share mo mga video ko. Namin ko lang share. Kailangan ko ng maraming viewers. Ha? Kaya ako, pa-share mo ng ano mo. Search. GSA. Principal yun. Yan na, video ko, oh. Hindi mo napanood yan. Panoorin mo yan. Video ko talaga ito. Panoorin mo ito. Share mo. You know, look. Ha? Panoorin mo ito. Share mo. Ikaw, share mo. Share mo. Mabilis lang. Wala ko kasi na yan. Ha? Ito. YouTube video. Babalik na natin sa YouTube. Karina, ano yung Karina? Ha? Hmm. Ako share mo nga. Kung panoorin, share mo. Hindi lang magaling ano, viewers. Everyone this nation has it is a manipulation and ancient nation. The people never should anything, as it should not understand the way and simply their warriors and rights. They will devour the food of your habits. They will devour your sons and daughters. They will devour your flocks and herds. They will devour your graves and pits, and they will destroy your fruitful plants, to cleanse yourself. Yet even in those days I will not put you out, and when the people ask why did you let them do it, you must apply your rejected him and give yourself a foreign life. Now you will serve foreigners in the land of self. Make this announcement to Israel and say this to Judah, using the foolish and Israelites and Messiah's people with eyes that cannot see and ears that cannot hear. Have you noticed the thing? Why did it tremble in my innocence? I will define the ocean sandy shore as the everlasting boundary that the waters cannot cross. The waves may toss and roar, but they can never pass the boundaries, but my people will have stubborn and rebellious hearts. They have turned away abandonment. They will not slay from the heart. Let us live in awe of the Lord our God, for he gives us rain each spring and fall, assuring us of harvest in the time and strength. Your wickedness has deprived you of those wonderful blessings. Your sin has robbed you of all of these good things. Among my people are weak men, who lie in wait for victims like a hunter hiding in the land. They continually set traps to catch people, like a cage filled with birds. Their homes are filled with evil plots, and now they are poor and rich. They are fat and sleek, and there is no limit to their wicked deeds. They refuse to provide justice to orphans and deny the rights of the poor. Should I not punish them for this, says the Lord? Should I not avenge myself against such a nation? A horrible and shocking thing has happened in this land. The prophets give false prophecies and declares relief and iron hand. Words hit my people like a day. But what will we do when the end comes? Jerusalem is falling. Run for your lives, you people of Jerusalem. Get out of Jerusalem, sound the alarm in Tekoa, send up a signal in Beth-Cahren. A powerful army is coming from the north, coming with disaster and destruction. O Jerusalem, you are my beautiful and delicate daughter, but I will destroy you. Enemies will surround you like shepherds come around the city. Each chooses a place for his troops before they shall prepare for a battle. Attack at night. No, it's too late. The day is fading and evening shadows are falling. Well then let's attack at night and destroy her palaces. This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Cut down the trees for battering them. Build siege rams against the walls of Jerusalem. This is the city to be punished, for she is weak, true and full. She spouts evil like a fountain. The streets echo with thousands of violence and destruction. I always see him sickness and sores. Listen to this warning. Jerusalem, or I will turn from your indoors class. Listen, or I will turn you into a heap of ruins, a land where no one lives. This is what the Lord of Heaven Army says. Even the few who remain in misery will be picked over again, as when harvester chicks each barn as second time. To pick the great bitterness, to whom can I give warning? Who will listen when I speak? The ears are closed, and they cannot hear. They scorn the word of the Lord. They don't want to listen at all. So now I am filled with the Lord's power. Yes, I am tired of holding it in. I will pour out my father and children playing in the streets, and in gatherings of young men, and husbands and wives, and those who are old and gray. Their homes will be turned over to their enemies, as well their fields and their wives, for I will raise my powerful fist against the people of this land, says the Lord. From the least to the greatest, their lives are ruled by greed. From prophets to prayers, they are all clothes. They offer superficial treatments for my people's mortal wound. They give assurance of peace when there is no peace. Are they ashamed of their disgusting actions? Not at all. They don't even know how to blush. Therefore they will lie among the slaughtered. They will be brought down when I punish them, says the Lord. Judah rejects the Lord's way. This is what the Lord says, pack up the crossroads and walk around it. By the old godly way and walk on it, travel on its path. Near find rest for your souls, but you reply, no, that's not the road we want. It posted watchmen over you who said, listen for the sound of the alarm, but you reply, no, we won't pay attention. Therefore, listen today. All you nations take note of my people's situation. Listen, all the earth. I will bring disaster on my people. It is the fruit of their own schemes, because they refuse to listen to me. They have rejected my word. There is no use soft offering the sweet. Frankincense from Sheba, with your fragrant calamus imported from distant lands. I will not accept your burnt offerings. Your sacrifices have no place in aroma for me. Therefore, this is what the Lord says: I will put obstacles in my people's path. Fathers and sons will both fall over them. Neighbors and friends will die together. An evasion from now. This is what the Lord says. Look, a great army coming from the north. A great nation is rising against you from far off lands. They are armed with bows and spears. They are cruel and showing no mercy. They sound like roaring sea as they ride forward on horses. They are coming in battle formation, planning to destroy the beautiful Jerusalem. We have heard reports about the enemy and we will wring our hands in pride. Pangs of anger shall grip us, like those of a woman in labor. Don't go out to the fairs. Don't travel on the roads. The enemy's swords is everywhere and terrorize us with every chance. O my people, get yourselves in battle, and sit among the ashes mourn anew. Better be as per the laws of an only son, for suddenly the destroying armies will be upon you. Jeremiah, I have made you a tester of metals, that you may determine the quality of my people. They're the worst kind of labor full of slander. They are as hard as bones and iron, and they lead others into corruption. Then the billows firstly fan the flames to burn out the corruption that it has purified them. For the wickedness remain, I will level them with rejected silver, for I the Lord as Amen. And we give another message to Jeremiah. So go to the entrance of the Lord's temple and give his message to the people. To Judah, listen to this message from the Lord. Listen to it, all of you who worship him. This is what the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of Israel says. Even now, if you quit your evil ways, I will let you stay in your land, own land. But don't be fooled by those who promise you safety, simply because the Lord's temple is holy. They chant, the Lord's temple is holy. The Lord's temple is holy, but I will be merciful only if you stop your evil thoughts and deeds and start treating each other with justice. Only if you stop exploiting foreigners, orphans, and widows, only if you stop your murdering, and only if you stop harming yourselves by worshiping idols. Then I will let you stay in this land that I gave to your ancestors to keep forever. Don't be fooled into thinking that you will never suffer because the temple is here. It's a lie. Do you really think you can steal, murder, commit adultery, lie, and burn incense to Baal and all those other new gods of yours, and then come here and stand before me in my temple and chant, we are safe, only to go right back to all those idiots again? Don't you yourself admit that these people which bears my name has become a den of thieves? Surely I see all the evil going on there. I, the Lord, have spoken. Go now to the place of Shiloh where I once put the tabernacle that bore my name. See what I did there, because all of all the wickedness of my people, the Israelites. While you were doing these wicked things, says the Lord, I spoke to you about it repeatedly, but you would not listen. I called out to you, but you refused to answer. So just as I destroyed Shiloh, I will now destroy this temple that bears my name, this temple that you trust in for help, this place that I gave to you and your ancestors, and I will send you out of my sight into exile, just as did yourselves, the people of Israel. Pray no more for these people, Jeremiah, do not weep or pray for them, and don't leave me to come, for I will not easily. Share mo lahat yan, ha? Lahat ng videos ko, ha? Share mo? Ha? Share ka? Share mo. Share lahat, ha? Gusto lang pinaya mo, eh. Ha? Video natin mo. Yung picture mo, tingnan kasi. Kahit hindi natin, hindi kami nakalaonin. Yun lang. Video natin. Share mo lahat, sa? Kasi kailangan ko na madaming viewers para sasawaran ako ni YouTube. Nagtatrabaho ko kay YouTube yun. Ito kaya lang yan. Eh, share mo ba? Tawan. Share mo ba? Panoorin mo, tapos share mo. The Lord gave another message to Jeremiah. Why normal for these people, Jeremiah, do not keep what they forbid, and don't beg me to help them. For I will not listen to you. Don't you see what they are doing throughout the towns of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem? No wonder I am so angry. Watch now your children gather wood and the fathers built sacrificial fires. See how the woman made dough and make cakes to offer to the king of heaven, and they pour out liquid offerings for their other idols gods. Am I the one they are hurting? Asked the Lord. Most of all will hurt themselves to their own shame. So this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will pour out my terrible fire in this place. Its people, animals, trees, and crops will be consumed by the unquenchable fire of my anger. This is what the Lord of heaven honors. The God of Israel says, take your burnt offerings and your other sacrifices and eat them yourself. When I led your ancestors out of Egypt, it was not burnt offerings and sacrifices I wanted from them. This is what I told them, obey me. I will be your God, and you will be my people. Do everything as I say, and all will be well. This is what I told them. Hmm. Obey me. Obey me. And I will be your God, and you will be my people. And you will be my people. Do everything as I say, and all will be well. But my people will not listen to me. Jeremiah 7. Sa mag-aral ka dyan sa YouTube ng mga English para maano ka, sanay ka sa English, paano magsulat mga spelling. Meron naman dyan eh. Type mo lang yan, search mo lang sa YouTube. Habang nagtatambay ka. Para masanay ka sa mga spelling sa pagsusulat, paano sulat yung English. Alam mo yan? Saan? Paano sulat? Search. Share mo. Ano dito lang yan, bibigit tayo dito. Kasi mo ba ito? May YouTube video. Hindi, para hindi hirap sa'yo. Dapat sa'yo. Kasi YouTube, ito yung channel ko. Ako mo, ako rin yan. Pero people. YouTube boom mo. Ano YouTube boom? Message ko ba? Samuel. Samuel. Um, Share mo lang sa YouTube mo sa Facebook. Ito ko mga latest ko mahaba yan. Wala yan. Yung ganyan yun, dito, yun, ginawa ko niya, naka-live yan, painted. Wala akong ginagawa, or baka sila yun. Wala ka live yan. Ito, live ito, ito. Yan, subscribe, ito, pipilitin. Ano? Play. Yan Mag-gusto mo na mo. Diba? Tapos yung panoorin, share. Yan, lahat yan. Doon sa may nakatulad. Ang lagay yung or sa may lahat TV, akin natin. Yan sa may lahat TV. Doon sa may mga nakalagay sa may lahat TV. Ito yung nasa na. Wait, ang title. Yan. Ganun. Para sweldohan ako ni YouTube. Kailangan po yan. Nag-a-apply ako kay YouTube ngayon para magiging downloader ng mga videos. Hindi pa ako sinasahura kaya kailangan ko madami viewers. Di ba paglagay mo dyan, may nakalagay share. Gusto mo mag-aral. Aral ko mga pag-bukas payments din. Out of office. How? Okay. Ano kayo sulat mo? Kung tulog mo sulat. Masama kasi. Diyan. Ayun lang. Nagdating dyan mga ko English. Pwede natin sitiin. Hindi ko pa sila easily sila ko pa. Explanation. AC. AC. Hindi ko marunong kang English. Ano? Ano mo na para dumaming ay din yung araw ko dyan. Thank you, Jesus, that I something. Something? Then, Ian and Isa yan, things. Ang dami mong pag-aralan dyan sa YouTube kung anong mga gusto mong pag-aralan. Aral ka dyan. Practice ka. Hanapin mo yan yung dictionary dyan sa Apple Store, tapos download mo. English Tagalog dictionary. Tapos download mo sa Apple Store. Bukas na tayo mag-discuss sa mga roles mo sa guard. Sige ngayon, maingay, malakas boses ko eh. Gigising yung isa. Hear the word that the Lord speaks to you, O Israel. This is what the Lord says. Do not act like the other nations, or try to read their future in the stars. Do not be afraid of their predictions, even though other nations terrify. Their ways are futile and foolish. They cut down trees, and craftsmen carves an idol. They decorate it with gold and silver, and then fasten it securely with hammer and nails. So it won't fall over. Their gods are like helpless scarecrows in a cucumber field. They cannot speak and they need to be carried because they cannot walk. Do not be afraid of such good gods, for they can neither harm you nor do you any good. Lord, there is no one like you, for you are great and your name is full of power who would not fail you. O King of nations, the title belongs to you alone, among all the wise people of the earth and in the kingdoms of the earth. Paalala mo bukas ang paalala mo bukas na mag-online ako para sa NBI mo. Kasi ang tagal makuha ng NBI dito sa Manila. Kaya ka pinapakuha doon kasi baka mabilis. Dito ang tagal, 15 days. Tapos kailangan mo pa mag-online muna bago ka pupunta doon sa NBI. Do not be afraid of such gods, for they can neither harm you nor do you any good. Lord, there is no one like you, for you are great and your name is full of power. Who would not fear you, O King of nations? The title belongs to you alone. Among all the wise people of the earth and in all the kingdoms of the world, there is no one like you. People who worship idols are stupid and foolish. The things they worship are made of wood. They bring beaten sheets of silver from Tarshish, a gold from Ophaz, and they give these materials to skillful craftsmen who make their idols. Then they dress their goods in royal blue and purple robes made by the expert tailors. But the Lord is the only true God, He is the living God and everlasting King. The whole earth trembles at His anger. The nations cannot stand up His wrath. Say this to those who worship other gods, your so-called gods who did not make the heavens and earth will vanish from the earth and from under the heavens. But God made the earth by His power, and He preserves it by His wisdom. With His own understanding, He stretches out the heavens. Wakaunan dun oh, pagka gusto mo magtuloy na. Say this to those who worship other gods, so your so-called gods, who did not make the heavens and earth, will vanish from the earth and from under the heavens. But God made the earth by His power, and he preserves him by his wisdom. With his own understanding he stretches out the heavens. When he speaks in the thunder, the heavens roar with rain. He causes the clouds to rise over the earth. He sends the lightning with the rain, and relays the wind from his storehouses. The whole human race is foolish and has no knowledge. The craftsmen are disgraced, and the idols they make. For their carefully shaped works are a food. These idols have no breath or power. Idols are worthless or ridiculous lies. On the day of reckoning, they will all be destroyed. But the God of Israel is no idol. He is the creator of everything that exists, including Israel, his own special possession. The Lord of heaven armies is his name. The coming destruction, pack your bags and prepare to leave. The siege is about to begin, for this is what the Lord says. Suddenly I will flame out all you who live in this land. I will pour great troubles upon you, and at last you will feel my anger. My wound is severe, and my grief is great. My sickness is incurable, but I must bear it. My home is gone, and no one is left to help me rebuild it. My children have been taken away, and I will never see them again. The shepherds of my people have lost their senses. They no longer seek wisdom from the Lord. Therefore they fail completely, and their flocks are scattered. Listen, hear the terrifying roar of great armies. As they roll down from the north, the towns of Judah will be destroyed and become a hunt for jackals. Jeremiah's prayer, I know, Lord, that our lives are not our own. We're not able to plan our own course. So correct me. San, ilan taon ka na, San? Ilan taon ka na? 25 ka na? Tanda mo na pala. Ha? Tanda mo na pala. Kala ko, nasa 20 ka pa lang. Mag Ito. 28. 28 na ito si Bibi. Ha? Kala ko nasa 20 ka pa para sabi ko mag-ALS ka para magsundalo ko. Ang halapit lang ng school yung sundalo dyan. Kung gusto mo magsundalo, mag-ALS ka. Ayaw mo? Ayaw mo? Sundalo? Ha? Ha?
Matay sa'yo.
Mantay ka sa'yo. Baka naman sahod mo. So correct me, Lord, but please me be gentle. Do not correct me in anger, for I will die. Pour out your watch on the nations that refuse to acknowledge you, and the peoples that do not call upon your names. Minsan nga, pag nag-practice sila magbarilan dyan, rinig na rinig yung buto ni baril nila. For they have devoured your people Israel, and they are devoured and consumed in making the land a desolate wilderness. The Lord gave another message to Jeremiah and said, remind the people of Judah and Jerusalem about the terms of my covenant with them. Say to them, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Cursed is anyone who does not obey the terms of my covenant. For I said to your ancestors when I brought them out of the iron smelting furnace of Egypt, if you obey me and do whatever I command you, then you will be my people and I will be your God. I said this so I could keep my promise to your ancestors to give you a land flowing with milk and honey, the land you live in today. Then I replied, Amen, Lord, may it be so. Then the Lord said, broadcast this message in the streets of Jerusalem. Go from town to town throughout the land and say, remember the ancient covenant and do everything it requires. For I solemnly warn your ancestors when I brought them out of Egypt. Obey me. I have repeated this warning over and over to this day, but your ancestors did not listen or even pay attention. Instead, they stubbornly followed their own evil desires, and because they refused to obey, I brought upon them all the curses described in this covenant. Again the Lord spoke to me and said, I have discovered a conspiracy against me among the people of Judah and Jerusalem. They have returned to the sins of their forefathers. They have refused to listen to me and are worshipping other gods. Israel and Judah have both broken the covenant I made with their ancestors. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. Again the Lord spoke to me and said, I have discovered a conspiracy against me among the people of Judah and Jerusalem. They have returned to the sins of their forefathers. They have refused to listen to me and are worshipping other gods. Israel and Judah have both broken the covenant I made with their ancestors. Therefore, this is what the Lord says: I'm going to bring calamity upon them, and they will not escape. Though they beg for mercy, I will not listen to their cries. Then the people of Judah and Jerusalem will pray to their idols and burn incense before them. But the idols will not save them when disaster strikes. Look now, people of Judah, you have as many gods as you have towns. You have as many altars of shame, altars for the burning incense to your god Baal, as there are streets in Jerusalem. Pray no more for these people, Jeremiah, do not weep or pray for them, for I will not listen to them when they cry out to me in the street. What right do my beloved people have to come to my temple, when they have done so many immoral things? And their vows and sacrifices prevent their destruction. They actually rejoice in doing evil. I, the Lord, once called them a thriving olive tree, beautiful to see and full of good fruit, but now I have sent the father of their enemies to burn them with fire, leaving them charred and broken. I, the Lord of heaven armies, who have planted this olive tree, have ordered it. Destroyed, for the people of Israel and Judah have done evil, arousing my anger by burning incense to Baal. Then the Lord, then the Lord told me about the plots my enemies were making against me. It was like a lamb being led to the slaughter. I had no idea that they were planning to kill me. Let's destroy this man and all his words. They said, let's cut him down so his name will be forgotten forever. O Lord of heaven armies, you make righteous judgment and you examine the deepest thoughts and secrets. Let me see your vengeance against them, for I have committed my sin. This is what the Lord says about the men of Anathoth, who wanted me dead. They had said, we will kill you if you do not stop prophesying in the Lord's name. So this is what the Lord of heaven armies says about them. I will punish them. Their young men will die in battle, and their boys and girls will starve to death. Not one of these plotters will survive, for I will bring disasters upon them when their time of punishment comes. Lord, you will always give me justice when I bring case before you. So let me bring you this complaint. Why are the wicked or so prosperous? Why are evil people so happy? You have planted them and they have taken root and prospered. Your name is on their lips, but you are far from their hearts. But as for me, Lord, you know my heart to see me detest my thoughts. Drive these people away like sheep to be butchered. So then, aside to be slaughtered, how long must this land mourn? Even the grass in the field is withered, the wild animals and birds have disappeared because of the evil in the land. For the people have said, the Lord doesn't see what's ahead for us. The Lord replied to Jeremiah, if raising against mere men makes you tired, how will you raise against Moses? If you stumble and fall open ground, what will you do to the thickets near to the Jordan? Even your brothers, members of your family, have turned against you. They plot and raise complaints against you. Do not trust them, no matter how pleasantly they speak. I have abandoned my people, my special possession. I have surrendered my dearest ones to their enemies. My chosen people have roared at me like a lion of the forest. So I have treated them with contempt. My chosen people act like speckled vultures, but they themselves are surrounded by vultures. Bring on the wild animals to pick their corpse clean. Many rulers have ravaged my vineyard, trampling down the vines and turning all its beauty into a barren wilderness. They have made it an empty wasteland. I hear its mournful cry. The whole land is desolate and no one even cares. On all the buried hilltops, glittering armies can be seen. The sword of the Lord devours people from one end of the nation to the other. No one will escape. My people have planted wheat but are harvesting thorns. They have worn themselves out, but it has done them no good. They will harvest a crop of shame because of the first anger of the Lord. A message for Israel's labor. Now this is what the Lord says, I will uproot from their land all the evil nations reaching after the possession I gave my people Israel, and I will uproot Judah from among them. But afterward I will return and have compassion on all of them. I will bring them home to their own lands, again each nation to its own possession. And if these nations will learn the ways of my people, and if they learn to swear by my name, saying, as surely as the Lord lives, just as they taught my people to swear by me, then they will be given a place among my people. But any nation who refuses to obey me will be uprooted and destroyed. I, the Lord, have spoken. This is what the Lord said to me, go and buy a linen cloth and put it on, but do not wash it. So I bought the linen cloth as the Lord directed me. I put it on. Then the Lord gave me another message. Take the linen cloth you are wearing and go to the Euphrates River. Hide it there in a hole in the rock. So I went and hid it by the Euphrates as the Lord had instructed me. A long time afterward, the Lord said to me, go back to the Euphrates and get the linen cloth I told you to hide there. So I went to the Euphrates and dug it out of the hole where I had hidden it. But now it was dripping and falling apart. The linen cloth was good for nothing. Then I received the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord says. This shows how I will rout away the pride of Judah and Jerusalem. This wicked people refuse to listen to me. They stubbornly follow their own desires and worship other gods. Therefore they will become like this lion cloth, good for nothing. As a lion cloth cling to a man's waist, so I created Judah and Israel to cling to me, says the Lord. They were to be my people, my pride, my glory, and honor to my name. But they would not listen to me. So tell them, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel says. May all your jars be filled with wine. And they will reply, of course, jars are made to be filled with wine. Then they tell them, no, this is what the Lord means. I will fill everyone in this land with drunkenness, from the king sitting on David's throne to the priests and the prophets right down to the common people of Jerusalem. I will smash them against each other, even parents against children, says the Lord. I will not let my pity or mercy or compassion keep me from destroying them. Listen and pay attention. Do not be arrogant, for the Lord has spoken. Give glory to the Lord your God before it is too late. Acknowledge him before he brings darkness upon you, causing you to stumble and fall in the dark mountains. For then, when you look for light, you will find only terrible darkness and gloom. And if you still refuse to listen, I will weep alone because of your pride. My eyes will overflow with tears because the Lord's flock will be laid away into exile. Say to the king and his mother, Came down from your thrones, and sit in the dust for your glorious crowns. Will soon be snatched from your hands. The towns of the Negev will close their gates, and no one will be able to open them. The people of Judah will be taken away as captives. All will be carried into exile. Open up your eyes and see the armies marching down from the north. Where is your flock, your beautiful flock that he gave you to care for? What will you say when the Lord takes the alleys you have cultivated and appoints them as your rulers? Pangs of anguish will grip you like those of a woman in labor. You may ask yourself, why is all this happening to me? It is because your many sins, that is why you have been stripped and raped by invading armies. Can an Ethiopian change the color of his skin? Can a leaf partake away its spots? Neither can you start doing good, for you have always done evil. I will scatter you like chaff that is blown away by the desert winds. This is your allotment, the portion I have assigned to you, says the Lord. For you have forgotten me, putting your trust in false gods, and that will strip you and expose you to shame. I have seen your adultery and lust, and your disgusting idol worship out in the fields and on the hills. What sorrow awaits you, Jerusalem? How long before your this message came to Jeremiah from the Lord explaining why he was holding back the rain. Judah writes, Commerce as the city gates ran hot. All the people sat on the ground in mourning and great cry rises from Jerusalem. The noble sends servants to get water, but all the wells are dry. The servants return with empty pitchers, confused and desperate, covering their heads in grief. The ground is parched and cracked for lack of rain. The farmers are deep in trouble, need to cover their heads. Even the abundance are newborn found because there is no grass in the field. The wild donkeys stand on their bare heels, panting like fearful jackals. They strain their eyes, looking for grass, but there is none to be found. The people say, Our wickedness has caught up with us, Lord, but help us for the sake of your own reputation. We have returned away from you and sinned against you again and again. I hope, O Israel, our Savior in times of trouble. Why are you like a stranger to us? Why are you like a traveler passing through the land, stopping only for the night? Are you also confused? Is our champion helpless to save us? You are right there among us, Lord. We are known as your people. Please don't abandon us now. So this is what the Lord says to his people, you love to wander far from me, and restrain yourselves therefore. I will no longer accept you as my people. Now I will remember all your wickedness and will punish you for your sins. The Lord forbids Jeremiah to intercede. Then the Lord said to me, Do not pray for these people anymore. When they fast, I will pay no attention. When they present their burnt offerings and grain offerings to me, I will not accept them. Instead, I will devour them with war, famine, and disease. Then I said, O sovereign Lord, their prophets are telling them, all is well, no war or famine will come. The Lord will surely send you peace. Then the Lord said, these prophets are telling lies in my name. I did not send them or tell them to speak. I did not give them any messages. They prophesy of visions or revelations they have never seen or heard. They speak foolishness made up in their own lying hearts. Therefore, this is what the Lord says: I will punish these lying prophets, for they have spoken in my name, even though I never sent them. They say that no war or famine will come, but they themselves will die by war and famine. As for the people to whom they prophesy, their bodies will be thrown out into the streets of Jerusalem. Victims of famine and war, there will be no one left to bury them. Husbands, wives, sons, and daughters, all will be gone, for I will pour out their own wickedness on them. Now Jeremiah said this to them: night and day my eyes overflow with tears. I cannot stop weeping, for my virgin daughter, my precious people, has been struck down, and his lies mortally wounded. If I go out into the fields, I see the bodies of people slaughtered by the enemy. If I walk the city streets, I see people who have died of starvation. The prophets and priests continue with their work, but they don't know what they're doing. A prayer for healing, Lord. Have you completely rejected Judah? Do you really hate Jerusalem? Why have you wandered us past all hope of healing? We hope for peace, but no peace came. We hope for a time of healing, but found only terror. Lord, we confess our wickedness, and that of our ancestors too. We all have sinned against you. For the sake of your reputation, Lord, do not abandon us. Do not disagree your own glorious throne. Please remember us, and do not break your covenant with us. Can any of the worthless foreign gods send us rain? Does it fall from the sky by itself? No, you are the one. O Lord our God, only you can do such things. So we will wait for you to help us. Then the Lord said to me, even as Moses and Samuel stood before, you are the one, O Lord our God. Only you can do such things. So we will wait for you to help us. Have you completely rejected children? We confess our wickedness and that of our ancestors. We have sinned against you. Do not abandon us. Do not disgrace your own glorious throne. Please remember us and do not break your covenant oath. You love to wander far from me and do not sustain yourself. I will no longer accept you as my people. Now I will remember all your wickedness. Hmm. Open up your eyes and see the powers. Open up your eyes. Open up your eyes and see the armies marching down from the north. Where is your flag? Where is your flag? Where is your flag? Your beautiful flag. Your beautiful flag that he gave you to care for. To care for. Jeremiah 15. Jeremiah 15. Three. La 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 la. La la la. 3 hours na ako. La 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 la. Oh, balisin na. Balisin na ang anak ko. Then the Lord said to me, even if Moses and Samuel stood before me pleading for these people, I wouldn't help them. I will then get them out of my sight. And if they say to you, but where you can go, tell them this is what the Lord says. Those who are disappointed. Need for Alice. Saan gusto mo kumain, Sa? Kumain? Batang ko. May sagbaw dyan. Gusto mo sabaw. Mahal sabaw. The monthly sabaw. The man who lives in terror. For this is what the Lord says, I will send terror upon you and other things, and you will watch as they are slaughtered by the swords of the enemy. I will hand the people of Judah over the kingdom of Babylon. I will take them captive to Babylon, or run them through with the sword. And I will let your enemies plunder Jerusalem. All the famed treasures of the city, the precious jewels and gold, and silver of your kings, will be carried off to Babylon. As for you, Pasha, you and all your household will go as a captives to Babylon. There you will die and be burned, you and all your friends to whom you prophesy that everything will be alright. O Lord, you misled me, and allowed myself to be misled. You are stronger than I am, and you overpower me. Now I am mocked every day, everyone laughs at me. When I speak, the words burst out, violence and destruction. I shout, so these messages from the Lord have made me a household gift. But if I say I never mention the Lord or speak in his name, his words burns in my heart like a fire. It's like a fire in my bones. I am worn out trying to hold it in. I can do it. I have heard the many rumors about you. They call me the man who lives in fear. But waiting, if you say anything, you will report it. Even my old friends are watching me, waiting for a fatal slip. He will trap himself in the same and then we will get our revenge on him. But the Lord stands beside me like a great lion. Before him my four or six heroes will stand. They cannot defeat me. They will fail and be thoroughly humiliated. Their dishonor will never be forgotten. O Lord of heaven armies, you test those who are righteous, and you examine the deepest thoughts and secrets. Let me see your vengeance against them, for have committed my cause to you. Sing to the Lord, praise the Lord. For though I was poor and needy, he rescued me from my oppressors, yet I cursed the day I was born. May no one celebrate the day of my birth. I cursed the messenger who told my father, God news, good news, you have a son. Let him that destroyed like the cities of old. The Lord overthrew without mercy. Terrify him all day long with battle shouts because he did not kill me at birth. Or that I had died in my mother's womb, that I body and then where was I in death? My entire life has been filled with trouble, sorrow, and shame. The Lord spoke to Jeremiah and things ridiculous and apostrophe. Pashhur, son of Malachijah, Zephaniah, the first to speak with him. The big Jeremiah, please speak to the Lord for us and ask him to help. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon is attacking Judah. Perhaps the Lord will be gracious unto us, mighty miracle as he has done in the past. Perhaps he will force Nebuchadnezzar to reveal his eyes. Jeremiah would go back to King David. This is what the Lord. For God himself, I will make you with one citizen being supreme Babylon. And the Babylons who are outside the walls of Babylon, in fact, I will bring your enemies right over the heart of the city. I myself will fight against you with a strong hand, a powerful hand. For I am very angry. You have made me furious. I will send terrible plague on this city and both people and animals will die. And after all that, says the Lord, I will hand over King Victoria, his staff and everyone else to the city who survives the disease, war and famine. I will hand them over to the King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, and to their enemy, other enemies. I will slaughter them and show them no mercy, pity, or compassion. Tell the people, this is what the Lord says. Take your choice of life or death. Everyone who stays in Jerusalem will die from harm, famine, and disease, but those who go out and surrender to the Babylon will live. The reward will be low. I have decided to bring assassin and upgrade upon city. You will be handed over the king and you will reduce it to ashes. Say to the royal family, listen to this message, Manila. This is what the Lord says to the dens that temple. Give justice each morning to the people you judge. Let those who have been wrong rescue them from their oppressors. Otherwise, my anger will burn like an unquenchable fire because of all your sins. I will personally fight against the people in Jerusalem, but my people trust. The people who boast, no one can touch my hand, no one can break my hand, and I myself will punish your cruelty and crime. Praise the Lord, I will light a fire in your furnace, it will burn up everything around you. This is what the Lord says now. Go over and speak directly to the king of Judah, says God. This is the message from the Lord is coming through the sitting in David Street. If your attendance and your presence listen to, this is what the Lord says, be fair-minded and just. Let those who have been wrong, rescue them from their offenses, with their evil ways, commit the street crime. Be fair-minded. Hanggat maaari. Simplify. Naantok na ako. Hi, yeah, yeah, in swimming. Yes.